Hi folks. Okay, so what this presentation is going to be about is going to be my studio setup, but it's going to be how to set up a studio for a complete beginner, for a guy that's on a real budget, because I've over the years had to I've set up a lot of like little home studios, but and not had a lot of money, barely had any money for that. Like I've had to go to like the labor lineup places and buy computers for like $50 and try to rig them up with like microphones and stuff like that, right? Like this microphone that I got right now, it's nothing special, so it's a it's an Audio Technica 2030, which is a little bit better than an AT 2020 mic, which is a $200 mic, and the AT 2030 is like a $300 mic or something like that, right? But it's not the greatest mic or anything like that. But the plugins and stuff that I use, which are Isotope plugins, I've always used Isotope, even though I have all the CLA plugins. I've used Slate Digital plugins. I've used these are just the brand names. So Slate, Isotope, CLA, which is Waves. And there's a couple of, I've never used there's a real I forget the name of it now. It'll come to me, then I'll put it at the bottom. But they're super expensive plugins, and I never used them yet. But I don't know. I'm always happy with the results that I get using Isotope plugins. I think Isotope has been my go-to because they have the simplest equipment to use, and that's the one that I'm going to be running this demonstration on. Is the Isotope plugins. But let's get right down to basics here. So let's say I'm a kid and I got no money or whatever the heck it is, and I got to go out and get a computer and start a recording studio or whatever I want to do, right? You just need a space to record it. You don't need anything special. Like this is just like the bare bones for guys that don't have a clue or anything like that, right? Because I've been doing this now for since I was first time that I set up and really started recording, and I still have records, was the year 2000, and now we're in 2022, and I've had to be pretty creative with how I've built my studios over the years. So this is just some cool stuff for people to check out. So what I would do in a day and age like today, I would use my cell phone, and I would go, okay, and this is all on the fly. I'm doing this. Use Victoria, so you have it used whatever city, country that you live in. And then I would say, okay, so now I'm looking for, okay, so here we go. Microphone. First, let's just get a mic. First things first, we would need a computer. So let's just see compute. So let's say we don't have a computer. So, and I'm going to tell you, I've always preferred an AMD chipset over an Intel chipset. And as for like a motherboard, this is like really vague, but I would say most computers, they'll tell you if it has an Intel processor, and there's people that have far better presentations on how to purchase computers and stuff like that, right? But I'm just showing you guys like the easiest, cheapest way to do this. So there's computers, you get an Intel chipset or an AMD chipset. So there's two options, or you get an Apple. I don't know anything about Apple, so please. And they're way more expensive, and they're just way more expensive. But if you have an Apple computer, this tutorial is probably not for you. I've always went with an AMD chip for recording vocals, for recording computers, right? And I've had tons of computers over the years, and it's always been an AMD chipset, which is AMD processors. But the computer I'm using for this demo is actually an Intel. I got two computers, but I record, as you can kind of see there, I got two computers. So when I record using my AMD chipset computer, which it's an older computer, but this one I'm recording on is the one that I use, one for video and one for recording audio, because it takes a lot of power to run these programs. Okay, so computer. So let's just look and see. I don't know what they're gonna have here. Usually you can get, so I'm just looking through on this, but it's not giving me any computers. Desktop, so I would enter in desktop computer. No, it's not giving me anything. So let's try desktop computer. See what we come up with. Okay, here's a desktop case. Here's this. We're looking for something for around $50. Wow, there's really nothing. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm just scrolling through these computers here so people can see this. It's just scrolling through, having a look what they got. Okay, so, but I seen this here. So these are i5 systems for $130 each. 8 gigabytes of RAM. That would do the trick, actually. This is an i7. Oh, look at this. Okay, $222. So $222 for this computer. I don't know who this person is or anything like that. $222 for... Doesn't matter. Okay, so... freshly formatted W10 Enterprise, one side panel missing. One side panel missing is good because that gives you more air for the fan. So that's a good thing too. It might not be aesthetically appealing to people, but that's a good thing. Okay, so it's got an i7 4-core 8-thread. It's also got a monitor, 2 terabyte HDD external, can deliver. So for $222 with a monitor, working computer, and it's running Windows 10. So that's good to go. So that's a $222 system here. So I'll put the price at the bottom. So $222. Now then, next thing you need is a microphone. So $222 for that computer. So I would call that guy, go pick that computer up, give him $225. Next thing you need is a microphone. Look at this. So I just typed in microphone. This is an MXL condenser microphone and a mic stand for what? $100. So people watch this video in Victoria, you guys can actually do this. So now we're at $322. So I would call this guy, I'd give him $100 because an MXL microphone is a lot of people use that microphone for recording hip hop vocals. That's actually a really popular microphone. This is in really good shape. Both hardly used. $100 OBO. I'd still gotta give the guy $100. It's like an MXL condenser microphone's worth I think they're hard to get your hands on because most places like Long McQuaid and stuff like that don't carry them. So that's a fucking good microphone for $200. Okay, so we got 300. Let's just say 300 plus travel expenses, $350. So now you got a computer, you got a good recording microphone, and then you need to get an isolation booth like this one. This is like a $300 and some odd isolation booth. But you can go on to Amazon and you can pick up, I'm not going to go into huge details because people already know how to do this stuff. I'm just showing you guys how to use local resources, buying from other people and not corporations for cheaper things. But if you needed to, you can go on Amazon and get a soundproofing insulated booth for like $100. Or you could just buy what I got here, put foam around your walls. Each panel of that foam, I think, was the thinner stuff was $30, and then I got thicker stuff at the back, and that was like $50. So this was like $200 and some odd, $300 thickening or isolation with this cone milk crate black insulation that I picked up at a foam store. But I mean, that stuff, you can buy those little panels too online, which are cheaper. But I bought this from a local store too because I think local's probably it's almost turning into a beautiful thing because Jesus, man, you can get everybody's just ordering shit off the internet these days, and it's kind of a lazy man's way to do things. I mean, call me what you want, but one thing that I'm not is lazy. I've done my fair share of leg work. That's why I don't have a very big bum, because I walk all the time. Okay, so anyways, so now we got the three main things covered, and we're at about $350 with travel expenses for a computer, microphone. Now then, I'm going to show you guys the next step. So I might have to turn this camera off. So that's basically all we're gonna need, because that computer came with a monitor, $222, and that's pretty common. I mean, if you go to a used computer store or whatever like that, there's every town, city, whatever has a used computer store. You should be able to get a half decent, and just tell them that you just want to run a standard recording program, which fundamentally what you will need is 8 gigabytes of processing power or 8 gigabytes of RAM. You're going to want at least, you know, I've even recorded off a, I think the lowest processor I've ever used is like a 2.3 AMD, like Athlon chip back in like the year 2000. And that's a shitty chip. Or not a shit, it was good back then. But I mean, nowadays you can't even fucking turn a computer on with a chip like that. I remember my album that I recorded, Levels album, with Magic Music Maker 2000, which is like the shittiest software that I bought used. The first software that I ever picked up for recording was Magic's Music Maker. Was it 2000? It was like 98 or no, Magic Music Maker 7. And I had a computer that was busted on the ground. I'd have to tear it out. I tore the side off of it, and I used to have to smash it while I was rapping to keep the fucking juice circulating through it. That's how ghetto it was. And I was rapping into a mic. I was using just a mic like this. So I had the computer put on its side, smashing it while I'm rapping into the mic, trying to use this thing to keep going. So so it was pretty fun though. It was cool to do. And let's say for the person that wants to make beats too or whatever, I'm just giving you guys this just so it's public knowledge, just so people know that you don't have to be a professional, and people don't say, oh, he hoards all his knowledge of how to do these things, and everything he knows, he keeps I don't keep secrets. I'm fucking transparent. I'm a ghost. Okay, so this is the standard for making beats. You'll be able to find one of these probably used Victoria online or at a pawn shop or something. I bought this from Long & McQuaid. It was like 150 or 200 bucks or something like that. But this is the standard. So it's the Akai Professional MPK Mini. Just a regular easy peasy keyboard, right? This one works really good, but I'm not selling it or anything like that. I'm just showing you guys. And then for headphones, I'll show you guys. Okay, right now I use these Audio-Technica. I forget which ones these are. These are like the mid-grade ones. These are like the studio standard ones, right? But you don't need these. But you could probably find a pair of these online. I paid about $200 for these Audio-Technicas, right? But you could probably find a pair of those online. But you don't need anything that fancy though. Because when I first started recording, like I said, I didn't have a whole lot of money or anything. $20 Sony headphones. Fucking complete. Which, they're good headphones, but I mean, they're not ideal for recording, but that's it. And I just fucking, $20 Sony headphones. So these are like 20 bucks at London Drugs. If you want to go there and pick up a set. Okay. This is where we're going to get into, and then for a hardware device, so this is called a, hopefully people can see that. I'll just put a picture maybe of it. For a hardware device, I don't even know what this is called anymore. Okay, so you probably want to get something, and you're going to need an audio preface. An audio preface, and I run a tube amp, right? I'll show you guys a tube amp. Tube amp, pop filter. Okay, so here's a pop filter. This is so that's your pop filter. Keep it distanced. This is about where you want to be. Yo, 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 my name is Big Heat, and I like to beat my meat in the street. Hopefully people don't call me weird names. Something like that, right? So, you got that. So that's pop filter, $20, Long McQuaid. This is a tube amp. This is the fucking main motherfucking thing that people are gonna want to try to get their hands on. I got a different one. It's the same brand. It's Art Audio. people will underestimate these tube amps for a long time until they figure out this is the fucking secret weapon. This is the juice, man. So when you use these tube amps, and this is the secret of the pros, they use those $10,000 Sony microphones, right? But Big Heat's fucking kind of a welfare ass cat, right? So basically those $10,000 Sony microphones and this, that, and the next thing, the secret that they have is they have a tube amp built into them, right? And like these $10,000, what are they now? Not Sennheiser. They're capsule mics. They're called capsule mics. They're not, I think they're not a Sennheiser microphone. It's another like a British brand name of microphone. I forget the name offhand. But anyways, this is the secret weapon, is the tube amp, right? Now, I'm going to tell you guys how to do this the proper way. Turn it on. I would recommend the one that I have, the USB interface tube amp, because it's a little bit better. Or it sounds a little bit more clean. You want to jack up the output. And then you want to jack up the input, leave it plugged in and hooked up to your audio interface. Which it can be. Most people use those the red ones here. Let me see. If I can I'm just trying to dig up a picture of this audio interface. Most people use the Scarlett interface. I like the Steinberg one way better. I've tried them all out before. The Steinberg one kicks ass. But let's see what the other one. Let's just put in audio interface and we'll see what we come up with, right? And you can get these at Long & McQuaid, and if you got good credit, which I don't have, you can you can rent to own these things or whatever, right? I'm just showing you guys an easy way to do this. Okay, look at this. Okay, this is what I would get right now. Behringer audio interface, one channel. This is perfect, right? So this is the choice for Behringer. So this is just an easy peasy audio interface for $77. It's on Amazon. But here, I'll do this. So Amazon, Behringer, audio interface. And then you want to get an Art tube amp for like probably you can get a tube amp for like $100. It's focus, folks, please. It's not going to focus, I don't think. Anyway, so that's that. So let's just say $200. Now we're at like about... So our studio right now for like a ghetto home studio now is at around $500 for like a studio. Now people that record vocals in a studio, let's say professional studio or something like that, they probably, to get a song to sound good or whatever, people talk about how much studios are worth, or they think that you got to go, spend or have like a flashy place that's all soundproof and isolated. I'm here to say no, but most people kind of already know this, but I'm just giving you guys sort of like the quick tutorial of how I do these things, just so one day maybe people will care or something like that, right? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is I am going to turn the computer on. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, let's just say that we already have our computer and we all set it up. Setting up a computer, I'm not going to show you guys how to set up a computer so let's just say now we're running Windows 10. And I just turned it back on because now we're entering into the computer and I'm going to start this webcam. So 11:01, Monday, February 28th. Don't look at my password, you guys. Okay, so I haven't cleaned up my desktop or anything like that, so I'm just showing you guys this stuff, right? Okay, so now then, first things first, I'm gonna open OBS Studio. Oh, and this is just, I'm not giving you guys I'm just showing you guys how to record vocals here, like the easiest way to record vocals. So I'm just gonna skip this version. Okay, so now I am on the webcam. My webcam is gonna be not very good right this second probably, right? So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is this. Because this light is gonna backfire on me, okay, so now we're I'm at the webcam point in this presentation, so now I'm going to run the rest of this presentation off the... Who am I looking at here? Off the webcam. Okay, so you guys come join me on the webcam now.